Greetings, all you beautiful ladies and gentlemen and girls, gays and theys. It is everybody's favorite time of the week. The time of the week where we find out if more people are assholes. Hey babes! Welcome or welcome back to Moonbae Crochet. It is Brandy and today I am here to read you more r/am I the asshole stories that have to do with crochet, of course. I love doing these videos. I know you guys love them. So if you like videos of me reading stories, I also have a type of video I do here where I read your guys' submitted stories. So if you have any crochet or knit or crafty related stories that you'd like to share with me, my inbox is always linked down below. They don't have to be crazy stories like these ones that I'm going to read today. They can be sweet stories, funny stories, whatever you guys got. I'm always open to hear. And in case you are new here, my name is Brandy. I love to do crochet content on here, sharing patterns that I love, showing off projects that I've made, doing fun crochet related challenges, and sometimes reading stories. So if any of that kind of content sounds interesting to you, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, sticking around. We have lots of fun here. And without further ado, let's hop right into today's stories. Alright, this first story that we're going to read is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Cousin That I Would Not Make a Blanket for Her Kid for Free? Let's see. So, some context. I am a uni student, and in my free time I crochet a lot. I was spending a week at my grandma's to help her wash the windows and do some cleaning. My cousin, 31 female, came for a visit and asked me to show her what I was working on. Currently, I am making a starburst granny square blanket pattern for anyone interested. Oh, thank you very much. So I showed her the squares I've made so far and told her it was to be my first king-size blanket for mine and my boyfriend's first shared apartment. We will be moving in next year. She told me that in all that time, I could make a second blanket and give this one to her daughter as a birthday present. I told her that I would absolutely not do that because it is hard work to make a blanket and also very expensive since I'm using good quality yarn. I told her I'd be happy to put my own project aside and make one for her kid as a commission, but I wouldn't do it for free as I couldn't afford that. My dad thinks I should have asked them to cover the cost of the yarn and make a free blanket, but I disagree considering how much work goes into a blanket. Edit, the price for my work that I gave her is a family rate, very symbolic cost plus $1 an hour. $1 an hour? Okay. Well, no, I don't think you're an asshole for this. Not in the slightest. It's very, very demanding work. The cost of yarn, even if you are using, let's say, very good quality yarn, it's kind of expensive. No, that does not equate because the amount of hours that you'd be putting into this, $1 an hour is not even anywhere close. It's not touching minimum wage with a 10-foot pole. And even minimum wage is like not really enough, but it's like, you know, we're getting somewhere. So no, you're definitely not an asshole for this, and I completely agree with your decision to tell her like, hey, you know, if you want to pay me to do this, I'm happy to do it, but I'm not going to be just doing this for free. Like, yeah, no, this is very like cut and dry to me, not that much to talk about. I think this is very reasonable because I feel the same way. I would not do something like that. Let's see what other people have to say. This one says, not the asshole. As a crocheter myself, I totally agree with you. It takes hours and hours to make a full-size blankie and much longer to make a king-sized one. The yarn can be very expensive, but just because someone pays for the yarn doesn't mean it's any less work. Stick to your guns. You never offered a free gift, and it's rude for anyone to expect a free gift. Exactly. This one says, not the asshole. I don't personally crochet or knit, but my mother does. A lot of time goes into making blankets. You deserve to be paid for your labor. And this one says, not the asshole. People who can't do art somehow think that your time and effort should be free. Not so. Your response was spot on. A beautifully crocheted blanket is worth the money. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with everything. I definitely think that if you're going to get a gift for this person, then, you know, if they want a blanket so bad, you can just go buy them a cheap blanket at the store. Okay, they're not entitled to your time, your labor, your hours, your effort. Like, it's too much, okay? Making a plushie for somebody can be a lot of work. Like, a big blanket? No. Next story. All right, we got a bit of a longer one here. This one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Crochet for a Coworker After She Didn't Pay Me? I, 34 male, love to crochet. I picked it up from my stepmom and have been crocheting since I was about 7. I won't say I'm excellent at it, but I do okay. I work in a predominantly female workplace. I crochet on breaks. We went through a time at work where almost everyone was having a baby at one point. About 3 ladies all got pregnant within 3 to 5 months of each other. I got them each something on their registry and also gave each one a baby blanket. This opened the door to people wanting other things like gloves, hats, even a sweater. The baby blankets were free, of course, because that's my gift to the baby. I informed them that I could do the other projects at a cost, $10 to $15 for scarves and hats and gloves depending on patterns and colors that they wanted, $30 to $80 for blankets again depending on what they wanted, the cost of yarn, time, size, etc. They agreed and I got started. It's been fun, but in the beginning I wasn't smart about it and would give them the project before getting paid. We were all friendly and I know how much our job pays, very little. So if they didn't have it, I said it was fine and they could catch up on the next check. This worked okay until a worker we will call K orders 3 sets of hats, gloves, and scarves. She didn't have the money upon completion, and like the others, I said it's fine and she could catch up and pay later. Times are hard, I get it. She ended up paying for 2, but not the last one. I gave her time, but after a few paychecks, I did remind her she still owed for the last one. Another month of excuses, another reminder, and nothing. I realized she wasn't going to pay. I didn't ask for the product back, but I did change how I collected payment. Everyone now has to pay beforehand, not after. Kay has been asking for a baby blanket now as her son is having a baby, and I told her I won't be doing that until she pays for the last set that she was given. She hasn't, and I haven't made anything else for her. She has started bad-mouthing me to other coworkers behind my back. I know this because those coworkers are telling me. She's called me cheap, that I don't even make things that are good quality, that I'm punishing her, among other things. She has also said to me that I'm breaking a tradition that I started and I'm being petty. I went to management, we have no official HR department, and they said to basically work it out ourselves. None of my other coworkers are siding with her, and they've all put in more orders from me, but I'm wondering if I'm being an asshole for not letting this go. So, am I the asshole for refusing to make a baby blanket for her son's baby after she didn't pay me? Only reason I think I might be the asshole is because this isn't something for her that I'm refusing to make, it's for a baby, and it does feel like I'm not being fair. It's not like it's the baby that didn't pay me. What are your thoughts? I definitely don't think that you're being an asshole, and listen, I try to be a very graceful person, but when it comes to stuff like this, I do hold grudges. I do. I try not to hold grudges. I know it's probably bad for your mental health, but come on. The fact that you want to go and badmouth about, somebody that you... Hold on. Where do you get off calling somebody cheap when you're the one that didn't pay them for work that they did for you? You're cheap. You're a cheapskate. You get your money up, not your funny up. Ridiculous. That's very broke people behavior. I would know. I'm a broke person, okay? No, but for real, this is just ridiculous. Where do you get off going and bad mouthing when you're the one that's in the wrong, and just because this person is refusing to do something for you now after you already wronged them once, they don't want to get wronged again. Just pay what you owe, and if you really want this thing, then they'll make it for you, and you better pay up front, otherwise you're not getting it. This all seems very, very reasonable to me as a crocheter and as somebody who does do commissions and stuff like that. No, you are not an asshole, sweetheart, and I think that it's so cool. I feel like it's so rare to hear that men crochet. Really cool. I don't know. It's a very female-dominated space, I would say, but yeah, that's awesome. And I like that your other coworkers are not letting the yabba dabba doing get to them, and they're still putting in orders with you. I think that goes to show how what she's saying about you clearly isn't true, and it's not like your items are not, are poor quality and stuff like that. No, clearly you're doing a good job because everybody else still wants to buy from you, and they feel comfortable enough with you to say hey, fucking Kay over here is spouting off about you, just so you know. So I think that's cool. No, you're not an asshole for this, but let's see what other people have to say. This one says, not the asshole. If Kay felt that you don't make good quality products, then why doesn't she get a baby blanket elsewhere? You spent time making hats, gloves, and scarves, and she still didn't pay for the last one. She doesn't respect you or your labor. If she wants a handmade baby blanket so badly for her son, she can crochet a baby blanket herself. There's plenty of YouTube videos for her to learn. This one says, not the asshole. I'm petty AF. I would give discounts to everyone. Call it the Karen deal. If you pay up front, you save. And never help her again. As for her toxic work behavior, stay clear. She's trouble. She will dig her own grave. Yeah, for real. I think that, yeah, just don't even talk to her. Just cut her off. I know that you're coworkers, so like, keep it cordial, I guess. But yeah, no, you don't need to be getting involved with her on a personal level like this. And this one says, not the asshole. The cheapskate is calling your products cheap after putting in another order. That's rich. Stick to your guns on this one. It's your labor and time, and because of her, the bad apple, you had to readjust payment structure. Everyone else sees what she's doing. She can talk smack about you until she turns blue in the face, but once she starts to mess with your livelihood, don't have an understanding about that. Go to management with evidence. Yeah, I agree. This is so ridiculous. And honestly, I think that it's kind of dumb that your management, like, I guess since you don't have, maybe it's a small company and you don't have like an actual HR, but that management was like, work it out yourselves, you know? I mean, hello. Like, what was the point of even going to them? But regardless, yeah, you can work it out yourself by just not doing what she's trying to bully you into doing. I can't get over the fact that she's calling your work cheap when she didn't pay for it. Like, hello? Giving you months of excuses? Stupid. Moving on! Alright, this next story is titled, Am I the asshole for crocheting for my sister instead of her buying from a small business? I'm 15 male, sister is 15 female, and dad is 39 male, mom is 45 female. So my sister wanted to buy some Amigurumi plushies off of Etsy. We don't have our own debit cards, so our parents order and we give them the money. My sister sent a link of what she wanted to buy, and my mom refused to let her buy it because it was 65 pounds for one plush. My sister really wanted a plush, so I offered to make her one if she paid for the pattern. I had little experience with amigurumi, but I have crocheted for years and always want to make stuff for others. So I made the plush. I used my own yarn, so my sister paid me 25 pounds for the pattern and the few hours it took me to make it. I wasn't concerned about the price because it's my hobby and I have too much yarn anyway. My sister posted pictures of the finished plush on Instagram and tagged me to thank me for making it. It turns out that my sister was DMing the seller. I got a DM from the seller saying that it was an awful thing to do because I stole a sale from them, and they DM'd my sister too saying pretty much the same thing, which makes me think that I'm an asshole because others also said that I should have let my sister buy from a small business as they need to make money. My mom, dad, and sister are on my side. They say it's fine because I bought the pattern and that the seller is being an asshole for contacting me. All the people telling me otherwise are making me doubt myself. So am I the asshole? There's also a couple edits. It says, I bought the pattern from an entirely different seller. Okay. And the second edit says, I presume my sister was DMing the seller to inquire about the products. I have not seen their conversation. I just know they were contacting each other. I only saw the message in response to the post. All right. Well, in my not so humble opinion, you are not an asshole for this. First of all, you're 15. You're a kid. You and your sister are both very innocent in this situation. But I will say that you did not steal anything from this small business because your mom straight up refused to let your sister buy the plushie anyways. There was never going to be any sale. She said no because 65 pounds for one plushie is ridiculous. So she told your sister no, and in an act of like, oh, let me try to find a solution to this, you said, you know what, I can make it. And then you made it for your sister. She paid you a little bit of money, which you said you didn't really care about it because you know, it's your hobby. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. The seller coming and contacting you guys after that is also ridiculous. Like, what? So many people sell the same types of things in these platforms, whatever. But it's like, bro, if I'm selling something to somebody that's local or, you know, my sister, like, no, please get a grip. There was never going to be any sale to be had anyway, so no, you didn't steal anything. And you even said that you bought the pattern and it wasn't from that same artist. Like, you just found a different person who sold the same thing, which again, it's like, doesn't this go to show that so many of these things are like oversaturated? You know, you can find a pattern for it elsewhere. You can make it yourself. Not everybody's going to be buying your plushie. Like, clearly it isn't the most unique thing in the world. Yeah. So anyway, no, not the asshole. And the seller who is reaching out to 15-year-olds, telling them off, and again, the age isn't important because they probably didn't know the people, their ages, but it's like, please, get a grip. All right, let's see what others have to say. This one says, not the asshole. You did not take a sale from the small business. Your mother refused to allow your sister to buy it. It's not as if the small business would have benefited from you not making a plushie for your sister. Exactly. This one says, not the apple. What you did is something your sister can hold on to for a long time and more special since you made it for her. Maybe in the future you will be able to buy from a small business. Such a kind thing you did. Original poster. Oh, yeah, I like that. It was a very sweet thing to do. This one says, not the apple. You're allowed to make what you want and give it to someone else, even if it's similar to something a business makes. And if the business makes something like that, 65 pounds, then they should expect that some people will make their own versions of it because they can't afford that. I think that that is a fair assumption too. I feel like, as you know, especially if you're gonna make something on like a mass scale, as long as you're like crediting the person who came up with the pattern, you're allowed to do whatever you want. There's like no regulations on this stuff. People can do what they want. Not everybody is going to buy from your small business. I say this as somebody with a small business. Like, I try my best to make sales, but it's like, I understand that like some people are going to see my stuff and think, oh, that's a little out of my price range, right? And that's completely fine. And that doesn't mean that they can't go and purchase it from somebody else or purchase a pattern to make something very similar to what I made. And then, I don't consider that them stealing a sale from me. That just doesn't make any sense. Not the apple. Next story. All right, this last story that we're going to read for today is titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Making Anything for My Sister's Baby? I, 22 female, started crocheting a few months ago, so I am still learning new ways to do things to make what I create look better. I made a scarf for my boyfriend for Christmas, and I was really excited about it because I had just learned how to switch out the yarn to change colors when I needed to. I showed it to my sister, 26 female, and the first thing she said to me was that it was ugly. I haven't showed her anything else that I made since. Flash forward to last week, my sister and our cousin had a joint baby shower because they are both pregnant. I made my cousin a teddy bear and a baby blanket. I bought my sister some baby clothes and a gift card to Kohl's. My sister messaged me a few days later telling me that she was upset that I did not make her baby anything and accused me of trying to make her look bad. She told me that it's the thought that counts, and she was mad that I did not put in as much thought for her baby's gift as I did with my cousin. I tried to explain to her that it was because of the comments she made about what I showed her previously that I didn't think she would want me to make anything as I am still learning. My sister hasn't spoken to me since, and I feel guilty. Am I the asshole for not putting in as much thought into her gift and not making her something when I made something for my cousin? No. Okay, class, you ready? Say it with me. Not everybody in your life deserves a crocheted gift. They don't. And your sister is one of them. Well, I mean, okay, I know that you only showed her one thing and she made a stupid comment and then you just decided to kind of like never show her anything again and like kind of cut. I mean, you straight up were like, okay. And then boom, and like she didn't deserve anything. And I think that that's good for you. I mean, seriously, like you went to show her something that you were excited and you were proud and you were learning. And the first thing out of her mouth is that it's ugly. Like what? Come on. It completely makes sense why you were like, okay, so never going to crochet you anything. And I'm never going to show you anything that I'm making ever again. Because it's like, you don't want to hear that. Hello. You're lucky that that didn't kind of like ruin your confidence and make you want to put it down. I'm very glad that you stuck with it. I'm honestly struggling to believe that she doesn't remember that that happened. And anyway, the fact that, listen, I know pregnancy, all the hormones that you go through, I know that it can make you kind of act maybe different than you would if you weren't pregnant. But I also am like, come on, not talking to you when you did still give her a gift, that's a little dramatic. You got her baby clothes, you got her a gift card, just because you didn't put in as much effort, into it as you did with your cousin. It's kind of like, I can see kind of where she's coming from. She's like, oh my God, like she handmade this stuff for my cousin and I'm just getting like a store-bought gift. But it's also like perspective, girl. Like, you made me feel bad about myself in the past, and now that you see that I'm giving other people stuff, all of a sudden you want something too? I don't know. I'm completely on the original poster side. I don't think that they are an asshole for this. I honestly feel like they probably didn't think that their sister was going to have a reaction like this. Like, if their sister thought that the crochet stuff was ugly before, why would she want something crocheted? Like, you know, everybody was probably fawning over it and like, oh my gosh, how cool you made that, because that's how people react when people open crocheted gifts. And she probably got upset that she, you know, wasn't receiving that same level of like attention and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, like, but this is my sister and this is just our cousin and blah, blah. But this is why you be nice to people who are learning new skills. Not the asshole, but let's see what others have to say. This one says, not the asshole. Welcome to the game show. You can't win. To your sister. Based on what you expressed, I didn't think you were a fan of my work, so I thought you would appreciate a store-bought gift more. I may have not made it with my hands, but I put just as much thought into it. Do not offer to make her something, as she won't be appreciative anyway. That's a good way to put it. This one says, holy guacamole. She insulted your work and then got butthurt that you didn't make her something? What the actual fuck? I crochet too. And no, abso-freaking-lutely not. I would never make something for someone that previously called my projects ugly. Do not waste your time or yarn on anyone that insults your work, ever. Crochet is an art form. You don't insult someone's art and then get all pissy when they don't make something for you. Not the asshole. Your sister sure is, though. That was a beautifully written comment, also. 10 out of 10, no notes. And this last one says, I've been doing crochet on and off for 40 years. It takes a lot of money, time, and effort for this hobby/skill and can be difficult at times, item/pattern depending, especially while you're still in the learning stages. She insulted your hard work and then demanded you make something for her child, which is very hypocritical and entitled on her part. She can't have it both ways. Maybe tell her to learn to crochet herself. She can have all the handmade items she wants then, not the asshole. Yeah, that's a also good way to put it. Yeah, it's no, you don't get to benefit off of my skill now that I'm like getting better, and all of a sudden you think that it's like cool, or you're maybe jealous that I did it for our cousin and not you. But it's like, why would I do it for you after you said that to me? That's just so mean. So no, not the asshole. Wow, we had a full video of just non-assholes today, and a couple male crocheters on our hands. I love that. But thank you guys so much for being here. As always, I always appreciate hanging out with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like, and of course stick around for more. I think this is part 10 now. Wow, you've done so many stories. All right, I am about to go have a movie night with my man and my stepdaughter. We're gonna eat Panda Express, and I don't know what we're gonna watch, but it's gonna be a fun night. So I will catch up with you guys later. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week, month, night, whatever you're having. Please enjoy yourself, and I will see you all in the next one. Mwah.